podcast that comes out on Thursdays. Wednesday we have a comic book podcast that goes up. So I do like 4 podcasts a week, and that really, everybody knows when they're coming, when they're going to hit iTunes, when they're going to hit the YouTube version and all that. And you want to keep consistent. Now, honestly, I'm going to tell you, because it's honesty, I don't really plan anything. It's literally, there's nothing I plan. I literally just write, talk about this, and that's probably the most I'll do. And I like to just keep it kind of, as I get there, just find whatever's happening, because I found that if I stick to a schedule, that's what fails me, because I have a deadline. So literally 5 minutes before the podcast, everybody's gathered. We just sit down there, what's the news? I don't know, but let me quickly tell you. So I'll just go look at the top 10, I'm like, done. So that works for me. You don't necessarily have to have a schedule, so if it doesn't work for you, just abandon it, I guess. But try both. I'm not telling you just abandon it, try both, because it might work for you, because it works for him. So, you know.
The only thing that's scheduled is I know what guest is going to be on the show, and even then, 3 of my last 4 guests had canceled on me the week of. 2 of them were voice actors who one had a production meeting that came up that they didn't know about. Another one had filming and stage play or something that they were doing. You know, so scheduling conflicts will come up if you're trying to be a guest-based show like I am. But when you have enough friends out there and enough people that you meet at conventions and things like that, coming out to Vermont ComicCon, for instance, talk to the artists, talk to the vendors. And if you want to do a podcast and you want to have somebody to talk to, find an artist whose artwork you like, grab their card, send them a message, say, hey, would you like to be on my show? I'm doing something new, I'm wondering if you want to help me out. Most of them will say yes.
I've had 100% success rate. Like, you ask me, like, hey, yo, did you come on my show? Success rate, 100%. They're always willing to do it. If they can't make it that week, they'll make it next week, or just them pre-recorded if they can only do a certain time. But they will come, because everybody wants to promote their work. So other podcasters, doesn't matter, ask them.
And people who are here at the show this weekend who have been guests on my show in particular include Karen Goslin, Johnny C's been on the show, we had Jay, who is president of Vermont ComicCon, has been on the show, Emily Druin, who's upstairs with the Kids Con, she's been on the show. So it's like I want to help everybody succeed, because the more I can help people better themselves, the better off I am because of it, even if it's not a direct correlation. If you know I'm trying to help you get better, you're going to want to do something in return just out of human nature, even if it's not asked for. So by me helping bring an artist on, they might tell somebody at a table at a convention that I'm not at, oh yeah, I was here on this radio show, you should check it out, it's really cool, or something like that. And you start developing friendships, you meet more people, you get out, and doors have opened to events that I never thought that we would be able to make. This was a last minute trip. This coming up here was basically planned in the last 3 weeks for us. Funds just happened to fall into place. My wife has family close by, so we didn't have to worry about hotels. But sometimes there are events that you want to make that you can't. And it makes it difficult because traveling is expensive. Hotel costs are expensive. Tickets for conventions are going up, and there are so many conventions. Now you've got to plan. Do I want to go to Anime Boston and spend $2,000 that weekend, or would I rather break that $2,000 up and make Vermont ComicCon, AAC, BakuretsuCon, maybe a Comic-Con in New York or somewhere else? And it makes it difficult to know where to go, what to do, and my wife's an artist as well, so we're looking at where to have tables at to sell her art. So now I can view it when I do the radio show. Not only do I have artists on, I now have a better understanding of their eyes, of conventions and how to plan and things like that. So when you have a better understanding of the people you're talking to, it provides a better quality show for the listeners as well, because it brings you into their world, not just yours.
And what he's saying also about going to cons is very important, because you want, once again, it's a personal touch. I guarantee you, if you're a small-time podcast, it doesn't matter if you have 20 listeners. Reach out to whatever convention you want to go to. Be like, hey, check it out, I'm small time, but I would love to cover your show. 100% success rate, they will say yes. And they will say yes because in 3 years, if you're this guy and you want to go, they'll remember, and you'll remember that they're the one that gave you a shot. Jay right now, who runs Vermont ComicCon, I hang out with that dude all the time, talk with him personal level. the dude's like family to me, and I never would have got there with him had he not given me a shot for my little podcast at the time to cover the first Vermont ComicCon. But I proved to him what I wanted to do. And of course, it helps if you have a hot wife, because then it's like, hey, look, I'm coming along, but look at my wife. And they're like, yeah, bring her. And sure, you can scroll along too and do whatever you do, but that also helps. So, you want to kind of try to roll everything in together, I would say. Just go and kind of, if you contact someone, just be like, hey, I want to go to a con. I intend to interview people. I'd be delighted to have you on my show. They'll always say yes, just because it's free promoting. A con like this gets 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 people. New York Comic-Con, I hate that show, but I go every year, and that gets like 150,000. And you know what I do there? Nothing. I go and get drunk and eat gyros all night, and that's awesome. But I can't cover anything, because the moment I go to interview someone, there's loud noise, there's lights, I put a microphone up to them, someone's running up, wanting them to sign a stack of comics, you're just like, I can't even do my job, this is great. So a lot of the times, I'm actually a bunch of these artists around here, I'm just like, hey, I'll go grab something to drink after, and we'll talk, and I'll interview you in the bar. Yeah, they do. Because we're all alcoholics at some level, I guess, here, so it works. Right, Johnny? Right, Johnny? That's it.
I'm still at the bar.
After last night, I still might be there. So see, and then someone might owe you pizza, which Mike did, so he had to run me pizza, because I gave him some slices last night. So.
I was about to say, yeah, Armin had pizza delivered to the bar.
I was like, I need pizza, and they won't let me leave. Deliver it to the bar, and I will eat. I was literally on the curb just eating pizza. It's great. So actually, that's going to be a podcast story this Tuesday, because people saw pictures like, you need to tell this story. So that's going to be about 40 minutes of my 2-hour podcast.
And those were good times.
I left too early last night. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah.
We didn't get here in time because we only got here today, so.
So we got about
wrap this up.
10 minutes left? You wanna...
Let's say 5
minutes?
5 minutes, yeah, wrap this up.
Q&A.
Alright, does everyone ask any questions?
What recommended format would you use for a podcast? Like how to record?
What can you get your hands on? Use that. Do anything, really.
Is there a way to record through FaceTime? Like that?
Yeah. You can actually just get a program. There's literally, I'm assuming you're going to have to hack your phone or have a jailbroken phone that can do it. The actual iPhones can't, but you totally can.
I meant laptop.
Yeah.
I got for that.
Do all that.
So for recording, Audacity, it's a free, what is it called, firmware or something?
It's free software.
Yeah. Free software, easy to download, incredibly user-friendly, and lots of 12-year-olds to tell you how to use it. It'll work using your laptop mic. If you do want to step it up a bit, I recommend something really simple, the Blue Snowball. It's a USB mic. It comes with its own little stand, so just similar to this, it'll just be right there. I use it for my video game recordings. I use it for my YouTube shows, which actually right after this, my YouTube buddies and I are having a panel, so don't move. So shameless self-promotion. So yeah, it's
We're
very
gonna
easy.
go promote that. Sorry, guys.
See what I mean? All weekend!
This is how I love you. This is what we did last time. We drank too much.
Yeah, he better freaking run. So yeah, you already have the laptop. That's the most expensive piece. Audacity's free, and the Blue Snowballs come in multiple levels. I just went with the basic one. It wasn't even $100.
What he says, I bought a Blue Snowball, $40. I bought a Blue Yeti, $180. The Snowball kicks its ass. So don't buy a $180 mic because you'll look like an idiot. Are you got a question?
Yeah. One there and two over here.
My question is, do you have any advice and what is your stand on, say, fictional podcasts? Say, Welcome to Night Vale, Pleasure Town, Hello from Magic Tavern? Would you have any advice for someone wanting to start one like that?
Yes,
Do it.
Please do it. Please.
Do it.
If you keep saying, oh, I don't know if someone will like it, the next person's going to do it, and they're going to be the one that makes it successful. When I started my podcast, everybody was like, dude, The Dark Knight is the greatest comic book movie ever. I'm like, no, it's a good movie, but it's a terrible comic book movie. That Joker is god-awful.
Thank you.
What is that? And when I made that rant video, 2 hours of ranting, people were like, this dude knows his comic. Just listen to this guy. And that's when my podcast actually exploded. So you should start on that now before I do it.
Because I've been wanting to start one, I have a whole writing thing I did where superpowers does exist, and I wanted to do something like that.
Do it!
Yes.
Do it.
You have to do that. You just do it.
There are people who podcast their D&D campaigns.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
and that's great. You're basically going to be doing that yourself. Just have at it. And, you know, when you start any project, it is going to be a rough start. That's natural. Just keep at it, because you're gonna improve leaps and bounds.
Have faith in it, and have fun. The important thing is have fun with it. If it stops being fun and becomes a job, or it becomes too strenuous, then you're doing something wrong. You know, we all do this because we enjoy it. This is something we love to do. I don't know if anybody else other than Armin makes money. I don't. I've gotten some perks with press passes and things like that, where I've gotten press here, got press at Kineticon, Anime Boston, things like that, which is great. But the experience and having fun and connecting with the community is the most important thing, I think, to everybody up here on the panel.
Yeah.
We want you to be a part of our lives. We welcome you into our lives because you're taking time out of your life to listen to us ramble on about anything.
Yeah.
In his case, pooping.
People don't believe me when I tell them, when I started my podcast, I was working 2 jobs, 70 to 80 hours a week. Within 2 years of starting that podcast, I moved on to no job, podcasting. I do my work 2 hours a day. Other than that, I go to the gym, I hang out with my wife, hang out with my daughter, and all that. So for 2 hours a day now, I make more than I ever did working 2 jobs. And when people just come at you and they're like, how did you do this? I'm like, you just have to start it. And there's always my friends. These guys, I swear to God, these guys are the dumbest people you'll ever meet. They're always like, I'm gonna do this, and it's gonna be great. And here comes next week, I hang out with them, they're like, I'm going to do this and it's going to be great. And here comes the next week. And so far, one of my best friends, he's been saying this for 2 years. And I'm just like, if you would have started 2 years ago, you'd actually be somewhere now. It might be 300, 400 listeners, but hey, that's getting you somewhere and people are listening to you, and that the more they listen to you, the better you're going to get. So I just don't know why people don't. I mean, if you have the idea, do it. What's the worst that can happen? What is the worst that can happen? Someone's going to say, this sucks, and you go, do it better.
I want to hear yours too, and to follow up with you. Again, SoundCloud is free.
Yeah.
So once you use Audacity, MP3 file, SoundCloud, done.
Next year I'm here doing this. You should probably come up to me and show me your business card. And please give business cards, for the love of God. I just finally got them this year after 3 years, and you're always that moron someone's like, I would love to listen to your show. You got a business? No, I don't. So just get business card. Vista print, it's like $20 for 2,000 or something, and just always carry them. I got them right here. That's Valley CW gave me this, so just keep them on your phone. It's great. Always have business cards. You just do your podcast. It doesn't matter. You're gonna enjoy it, and you might turn it into something that is very successful.
I think we have time for one more question. I know there was one over here.
So, I'm just curious as to how you were actually able to monetize podcasting. Because I have a YouTube channel, I have podcasting, and I know with YouTube, assuming you're not breaching anybody's copyright, monetizing is easy and almost automatic.
Yep.
With podcasting, it hasn't been as clear to me as to how you can actually translate listener numbers into a paycheck.
SoundCloud.
Okay.
You can pay $40 a year for something like that. It's something very simple. And you can monetize your stuff. SoundCloud, I make hundreds of dollars per podcast just uploading it out there. They send it to iTunes, they send it to Stitcher on iPhones or like all the other apps, and it's great because they'll put the ads in like before or after your podcast, and wherever they send it, they'll do that. YouTube, very simple monetization once again. You gotta be careful though for copyright. I battled copyright to death. Warner Brothers, I swear to God, those dudes hate me. I can mention Batman and put up a picture of Batman, they're like, that's ours. I'm like, that goes under, that's freedom of speech, it's a goddamn picture. So you have to battle it, and you're gonna battle it. And I can't tell you how many times I've been close to going to court with these dudes before they back off. You just gotta stick to your ground. If it's legal, which it is, because you're not showing the entire movie, just do it up. And once again, there's 12-year-olds on YouTube telling you how to battle copyright. I'm not kidding. It's the greatest thing ever. You'll get their entire paragraph, and that's it.
I went to court last week.
One question to add on to that, do you have to have attorneys or any of that when it comes to stuff like that, or?
Get a partner network. They actually work under YouTube. Like I work for Full Screen, and they're just the dudes that like see my money. They're like, look at that guy. He's making good hits, so we're gonna hire him. They get 30% of my cut. I keep 70%. And it works out great because those guys will be the one that fight for you, but they're never going to push it to court because it's the dumbest thing in the world. I mean, are they really gonna waste money tackling me for using a picture of Batman? Of course they're not. That's the stupidest thing. They just want to scare you, and as long as you fight back with those this is freedom of speech, they're always back away. There isn't a single time out of hundreds of things I've used that are copyrighted that they haven't backed away from. Only once, Viacom flagged me for something Ninja Turtles because I had an exclusive scoop on what the Shredder looked like in the first movie, and they fought me for it, and I lost. And then they came back to me and said, hey, we see you hate Michael Bay's guts because you constantly rant against them. Would you like to advise us on what you think of these designs? So they actually came to me to strike me. So think of that. And then they reverted it back 45 days later. But now, when Rocksteady and Bebop were revealed for TMNT2, I knew what they looked like months in advance because they used me as an advisor. So it doesn't matter. You're gonna win in the end. You're gonna win. It doesn't matter. Just go get the 12-year-old's paragraph.
Well, you adopt me. We're kind of out of time, guys. If you have any last-minute questions, feel free to come on up. But we got to switch over for the next panel.
Thank you so much. It's been
Yeah.
so much fun,
Thank you guys
everybody.
so much.
I actually got a table right up the stairs that says Comic